I just went to Walmart and got King's Hawaiian rolls and Texas Roadhouse honey cinnamon whipped buttery spread. Today, we're gonna see if they go well together. We'll take the Texas Roadhouse butter and the King's Hawaiian roll. Hopefully no one hears that elephant outside my room. The honey makes it sweet. Stop posting elephants in my comments. I'm gonna take the elephant to Pound Town. I'm never addressing the elephant in the room. To wash it down, because Pepsi has been such a great sponsor to the channel, I got Pepsi Zero. I really like this more than the regular Diet Pepsi that they sell in the stores. Exclusive property of Only Jack's $19.99 on TikTok. The flavor is much more pronounced than this one. If I don't say anything, it'll go away. I paused my South Park to make this review video. I'm on my revenge arc. Someone gave me a WWE belt, and I'm gonna take down all you haters. So overall, I'd give the Texas Honey Butter with the King's Hawaiian Rolls a 9.9 out of 10. It could have been better if I would address the elephant in the room. Hello, I'm Only Jax, Apology Cop, and after way too long of going through our bureaucratic justice system, I was recently able to get the apology judge to find probable cause and to sign this here apology warrant. The offender, Gabriel Gage, the Novine Universe, or simply Nova Online. The offenses include, but are not limited to, inappropriate conversations with and endangering minors, parental abuse, being a bad friend, the heap, suicide baiting. For YouTube, I'm gonna say sympathy baiting, but I think you know what I mean. Emotional manipulation, and uploading a corn video that has caused retinal cancer in 90% of people who have viewed it. Unlike most Apology Cop videos, the perp in this case has yet to apologize for one or all of the listed offenses, and the court has decided that it may be in the perp's best interest to issue one or more formal apologies.
I do not like breasts.
I've got a lot to say in this video, and it was really tempting for me to try to reach out and try to talk some sense into this guy, because in a way, and I don't know why I feel this way, but in a way, I feel bad for him. But if you've been following the Nova story, then you'd know he'd recently had a former friend come forward and tell his story, and it went exactly like you might think. A textbook lesson in never touch the poop, because then you'll have poop on your hands. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, Nova Online is a TikToker who gained notoriety for food reviews, water bottle reviews, inappropriate messages and conversations with minors, age play, age regression, diaper play, just not a lot of not a good stuff. In all honesty, I already expect you to know who he is and what he's done. Turkey Tom just released an hour-long video on the guy, and I would imagine that we have at least more than some audience overlap. Nova Online is in no uncertain terms a lolcow. And I could be way far off here. I might be in my iDubbbz area, acquiring trait empathy at 27. But to me, it seems that he is like a special case. Cyrax, for example, doesn't know why we're laughing at him. He legitimately thinks that his WWE voice is intimidating, and that if he does it, people may leave him alone.
You're a psychotic that deserves to have her head cut off and put on a goddamn pipe. You deserve to be burned at the stake. You deserve to die. After everything you've done to me, everything you've done to Brooke, everything you've done to Paul, you deserve to be dead.
He's completely unaware and oblivious to the fact that we are all anxiously awaiting the next time he poops himself on camera.
Hold on, Joe. What's going on? Oh, God. All over the place.
And he's also unaware about how his trench mouth is posted in every dentist office in Akron, Ohio, as a warning to all who don't brush their teeth. Daniel Larson doesn't know why we're laughing at him either. He can't understand. Okay, well, He might understand more these days because I hear they've got him on meds in prison and they're working. But he has no idea why people don't believe him when he says that he was supposed to be on the Eras tour with Taylor Swift, or that he's been in a years-long it's chopping. Okay, well, if you notice that the video is chopping, I recently switched to a different software to use my phone as a webcam, and I don't know how to make it to where it randomly just doesn't get choppy. If anyone knows anything about Droid Cam, hit me up. Not always there. He also has no idea why I laughed so hard when one of his managers made him think that the US was about to be nuked by Russia.
We apologize for the interruption.
This is not a test. The United States has been subjected to a nuclear attack. The North American Aerospace Defense Command has detected the launch of 12 nuclear missiles aimed towards the mainland United States.
Dan,
Yeah.
it was a prank, Dan.
What the f***? You might actually get me kicked out of this hotel tonight. No, listen to me. The hotel people and the security downstairs are trying to look at the news right now.
Wait, did you tell them we're getting nuked?
I told them that it's all over the news, Channel 18.
To me, what makes Nova different is that he is specifically aware of why he has trolls and detractors. He's aware of the evil he commits. He's aware of how leading the life he does lead leads to ridicule and torment. And he's very aware of the legal complications that may arise or may be in the process of arising due to some particularly degenerate and despicable actions he's committed. And I'm like saying this, and before I wrote this down, like it was like, oh, maybe Nova can still be saved. But now that I've like committed these thoughts to paper and said them out loud, I'm less and less sure. What hits me different about Nova Online is that for whatever reason, and I honestly don't know what it is, it's almost like I pity him more than I pity the rest of the lolcows. And I think that has a lot to do with the shower saga, because at that point, Nova had shown that he can A, identify a problem, 2, make a plan to solve the problem, and thirdly, that he was able, for at least a moment, to implement a plan to solve the problem. And again, as I'm saying this pity is turning into contempt because for the same reason. He knows that there's a problem and he refuses to do anything about it. I think Nova's former friend said it best when he asked, would the world be a better place if Nova was a better person? Obviously, yes. If you're familiar with the other apology cops, then you already know that the advice normally given is to almost always invoke your right to remain silent. And from a legal perspective, especially in Nova's case, this might be the right move, but in this case, like public perception wise, like hopefully this guy can save himself from doing more horrible acts with children, I've put out this warrant for the apology from Gabriel Gage. Okay, first off, Nova, you need to apologize for the horrific and degenerate act and acts of sexual perversion that you've shared with minors. Specifically, your age play and your age regression videos that were leaked in the Nova files. And before any of you psychos in the comments start telling me that there's a difference between age regression and age play, sorry, this isn't that kind of channel. You guys are freaks. I've linked a video in the description that I implore you to watch if you want further information as to why I think these things, but just know you can watch, but I don't take any of that seriously. There's a series of videos called the Nova Files that covers a leak of recorded FaceTime calls between Nova and a minor, wherein Nova is in a Sailor Moon outfit and diapers.
How much are diapers on Little for Big?
Depends on which ones you buy.
Are they comfy? Oh.
2-packs are like $13 though. A 10-pack are only $40.
Ooh.
So it's a really good price for the cake.
Yeah. Are you wearing the new diapers you got today? Awesome.
Every bag you go to the bathroom and I'll help you get up.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about tonight? Do your diapers have a pretty design?
You do?
Can I see?
This is my outfit fully covering the...
Are those little bears? That's really cute.
In the FaceTime calls, he requests that the minor call him baby girl, and he literally pretends to be a baby and has this child, this literal child, dote on him and use them as a prop for his reprehensible, disgusting, detestable kink.
One more thing before you go to sleep.
I can't hear you over my dogs. What?
One more thing before you go to sleep.
Yeah?
Ooh woo. Ooh woo.
You will?
Ooh woo.
You will?
Ooh woo.
You will?
Ooh woo.
So if you haven't seen these clips before, the lady in the video is actually a woman called Purity Sin. Her and a YouTuber called Bloodspeth and Chin Universe teamed up to compile these FaceTime calls and re-record over the miner's voice as to protect their identity. Big shout out to them. Besides the Nova files, we have the repeated Discord disasters at the hands of Nova, his Discords where minors were given access to adult material, and more recently, his Discord where maps or minor attracted persons were allowed and encouraged to be in this server and have their minor attracted thoughts so long as they never act on them. Nova, you have repeatedly exposed minors to material that minors have no business viewing, allowed that exposure, and more than anything, and most disturbingly, endangered children with your interactions with them. So for this, you need to apologize. Now, I want to be specific. You should absolutely not contact any of the minors you've committed these evil against. This isn't how you go about it. Nova, you don't even need to make a public apology about this stuff. Feel free to take the boilerplate apology cop advice and keep doing what you've been doing by keeping quiet publicly about everything. But what you absolutely need to do is apologize to God. And I don't mean like, God, I'm sorry, please forgive me of my sins. I mean, get down on your knees. Pour your heart out to God. List every single time you've wronged a minor. Cry. Feel bad about yourself. Humble yourself before the creator of the universe. Express to him that you know you don't deserve forgiveness for these things. Apologize profusely. Beg him to change you. And I mean beg him like your life depends on it, because from things I've heard, your life outside of prison might depend on it. And then, and only then, ask for forgiveness. Nova, I know you've already been kicked out of your church once for behaviors that they were alerted to, but that doesn't mean church is over for you. Should you have actually apologized, repented, and meant it, your next step after making this apology is walking into a new church, talking to the pastor and or church staff, being very upfront and honest about your past and your repentance. A good church will find you resources and walk the path of righteousness with and be there to help you when you stray. I don't know if your last church ever tried to set you back on the righteous path or tried to help you change after they found out about your evils, and if they didn't and just kicked you out. Editor Jax here. I just want to make it clear what I'm saying here. So I know for certain that Nova was kicked out of his church youth program, and obviously that's what you do. You kick him out of that. The broader point I'm making is that a church worth their salt and trying to lead people to Christ and show them the way, the truth, the life wouldn't kick out someone like Nova without trying to get him help first. Obviously, you remove him from the children. Like, don't kick him out of Sunday service, hook him up with resources. And if he continues to deny Christ and his message with his actions, at that point you kick him out. But the way it's been described to me, it sounds like the church heard about it and then just got rid of him. Even when you look at cases like Chris Chan, he had Rocky, I believe that was his church counselor. Rocky stayed with Chris until she literally had come to the point where Chris will never be saved. So this is what I'm getting to. Rocky, example of a good church, kicking Nova out after hearing one thing from the trolls or whatever, despite it being true. That's a red flag. It's not supposed to be easy. You've proven to be a danger and a horrible influence on the children that you've surrounded yourself with. Who surrounds themselves with children? Dude, you're 22. The world would be a better place if you changed, Nova, and it starts with apologizing. If you've been following the Nova story recently, then you know that one of Nova's former friends, who is literally is only known as Nova's former friend, took to the internet in a tell-all live stream where he talked about his friendship with Nova over the last year or so. Basically, this friend reached out to Nova to try to show Nova what a real good friend was. He tried to be a good influence on Nova and basically be an example of what Nova could be if he had turned his life around. For anyone getting this idea, that's literally touching the poop. Never touch the poop. Never touch it. Never touch it. Never touch it. Then you've got poop on your hands, and it's way harder to wash poop off your hands than to just not touch the poop. But this guy tried to be a good influence on Nova and basically be an example of what Nova could be if he turned his life around.
His hygiene was a consistent problem, and so it's just very strange to me where you're this person who scared to look somebody in the eyes, but you're comfortable with having a scent that is, smellable from 5 feet away. It's would the world not be a better place if Nova was a better person? The obvious answer is yes. I don't know. There are some things I would bring up that he would not, for example, the Pound Town. I've told him so many times, dude, you can't like out of all the people to decide like, oh, when I ban people I'll say Pound Town, like you're the last person who should say that. Like somebody who like already has all these like freako allegations against yourself. Like you have a lot of minors in your chat obviously, and now you're every time you ban someone, which is like probably more times than not it's a minor, like you're gonna say you're sending them to Pound Town. Like stop doing that.
We now know that all of Nova's former friend's effort was wasted, and in the friend's words, Nova is worse off now than he was when they met. It's actually really tragic. It turns out that we have Nova's former friend to thank for many of the gifts Nova has reviewed on his TikTok, as well as Nova's shower saga. That whole shower saga was, according to Nova's former friend, his idea. And throughout the relationship, Nova would lament about self-inflicted circumstances and woes to which the former friend would attempt to constructively walk Nova into better habits and improve his mental and living conditions.
If I'm not mistaken, you were kind of the one who encouraged it or gave him that idea? If you want to tell us more about that.
So I had been hounding him on his hygiene for like, I mean, basically our whole relationship, but I was really hounding on it for like a couple of weeks prior to that, the shower saga starting. And that was due to the fact that we started like, I think it was just we hung out with him like 2 or 3 times within like a month, which was like the most dense like amount of little outings we had. And we had to start telling him like, dude, we're not going to let you in our cars anymore if you like aren't washing your clothes and you aren't bathed. Like we can tell when you don't, like we can tell instantly. So I think that is what kind of made me want to start hounding on him more. And but what really changed, there was one day where I think he posted something where he was just like really gross. Like it was I think it was like hair was standing up in the back real bad, or I can't recall exactly. But I ended up calling him, and like right when I woke up, and he picked up and we talked for like an hour. And I was like, I basically just said like, dude, everyone in the comments of this video is saying like, you're gross, like you're greasy, like your house is a mess. And I'm like, can you say any of those comments are even wrong? Like, I understand you read them and you don't like them, but like, you need to actually internalize like, why are they saying these things? And then like, look at yourself and your surroundings, and you'll probably come to the conclusion like, oh, all these people are right. And so that was like an hour-long phone call. He was crying and stuff. And so towards the end of the phone call, I basically said like, dude, literally just tell me what I need to do. And this is almost verbatim. I said, just tell me what I need to do for you to shower today. And I was like, I'll do like, you tell me what it is, I'll do it. And so I said, I threw out some ideas. I was like, do I need to go like buy you a Bluetooth speaker? Like, is it, I think actually we have the text for that too. So people will see those maybe. But, I was like, I asked them like, are you not showering because you have like a difficulty standing? Like, do you need like a chair for the shower? Like what is the hindrance for you to not shower? And he didn't really answer any of those questions, but once he heard Bluetooth speaker, he got a little excited, and he was like, yeah, I'll shower if you get me a Bluetooth speaker. So
wow.
I said, okay, man, I'm gonna go to the store, I'm gonna buy you a Bluetooth speaker, and by the time I get to your house, you're gonna be showered, right? And he told me he would be. So I go to the store, I buy the Bluetooth speaker, and then I also buy a pack of hard Mountain Dews, because if you guys are 21, those are very good, and they're sugar-free. And obviously Nova likes Mountain Dew, so. So I was like, oh, and congratulations, we'll like have a Mountain Dew together. But I get to his house, and of course he hadn't showered yet, so I got a little upset, and I was like, the second I leave, dude, you better shower, and you better post that video. And I should also say, the whole point of the shower video, like that, why it was an idea, I was like, it kind of forces his hand. I was like, if you are saying you're going to post a video of you showering every day, and then you skip a day, like everybody's going to know. Like you now have like this large amount of accountability being like held against you. But obviously it didn't really matter.
This guy even came over to Nova's house to help Nova clean his front yard, that we all know must have been a total eyesore for that neighborhood. Throughout all of this, Nova lied to his friend about personal struggles, manipulated this friend into giving him gifts as a way to incentivize building better habits, and most of all, Nova was just taking this person's help and spitting it back in their face. Nova's friend broke things off with Nova after watching a YouTube video about Nova's newest Discord server with the PDFs in it. Like, imagine that, dude. Like, you think you're being a good influence on this guy, you're taking him out, you know, you're showing him, you know, how to be a normal functioning human being. You're trying to like uplift rather than put down. Spend hundreds of dollars on this person, you know, dedicating who knows how many hours to this guy just to find out that they're continuing to talk to children for God knows why. Nova's friend did handle things like a champ though, because I would have gone absolutely guerrilla mode, and I think I would have been well within my right to do so. So Nova, for the lies, for the manipulation, for the time wasted, you owe an apology to this friend with no expectation of reward or reconciliation. You really screwed this guy over, man. You know, he put faith in you, and while yes, that faith was completely misguided and completely misplaced in you, he tried to give you a helping hand and you put a wet diaper in it. Like, who does that, man? Now, I want to make this clear. I said it earlier in the video. Never touch the poop. If I knew Nova's former friend in person, I would have advised against reaching out, but obviously that's not the timeline we live in. So for anyone who lives near people like Nova or Tofiachu, Big Toph, Andy Ditch, Cyrax, Danderson, if he ever gets out, do yourself a favor, and again, don't touch the poop. Nothing good ever seems to come from it. I'll talk more at the end about ways we can encourage people to better themselves from a distance, but for now, I know I sound like a broken record here. Never touch the poop. Circling back to Nova. Nova, I know you listened to the interview with your old pal and you heard him talk about how disappointed he was and how things could have been so different if you would have just showered or done your cameos instead of e-begging and lamenting that you have no money, or if you would have just, you know, stopped talking to kids. I hope you heard all that and it just left this pit inside your stomach. I hope you remember that feeling and remember how you got that feeling, and you never act in a way that would let you feel this way again. Shorter section here, but it's well known that Nova's mother is disabled and frequently in the hospital. I'm sure Nova does love his mom, but if you've ever seen the horrific state of Nova's house, then you know it's no place for someone who's disabled to live. Let me draw your attention to the heap, Nova's poop wall, the kitchen, the bugs in the food. Editor Jax again. So you're just gonna have to take my word, and I mean, I'm a pretty reliable narrator, but you're gonna have to take my word about how horrible his kitchen was, because I'm looking specifically for, he did a video where he made orange chicken or some sort of Asian, maybe it was like teriyaki beef or something, but something of the Asian persuasion, and there were clearly bugs crawling into the food while he was making it and like in his bowl as he was gonna go eat it. I guess you're just gonna have to take my word for it, but he memory holed it, so it's gone. It's gone. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Nova's mom isn't able to clean or organize things around the house, and even if she could, I'm not sure if she actually would. It's pretty typical for lolcows who hoard for that trait to be genetic. However, Nova, at least for now, you're of able body and able to clean or at least organize the trash around your house so your dear old mom doesn't have to live in an actual landfill. People don't recover when they live in this filth, Nova. Honestly, it would be a great idea for your own health to get your house clean, but that's a drum that's been beaten too many times. You already know all this. For the cesspool that is your home, Nova, you owe your mother an apology and a plan of action to get it clean. Nova has said in the past that he's cleaning at his own pace, and if that's the case, Nova, your pace isn't good enough. Start by acknowledging the problem, apologize, and then eliminating it. Now, the last 3 sections have been about things that are probably better apologized for privately, and obviously I have no recourse, Nova. If you don't do these things, your life will improve dramatically if you do, but again, there's no recourse if you don't. I won't be following up or anything like that. This subject is about the apology you need to make to the public. There is a certain website where people go to upload videos that, well, it's like a lot like YouTube, but for spicier content, per se. And Nova would wind up posting a video there that recently got discovered and shared around. Nova, you've burned images that can't be unseen into countless people's eyeballs. Moreover, the audio of that video has been used as a TikTok sound that has personally been all over my TikTok feed. So, Nova, for uploading that video and letting it spread, you owe me an apology personally for having to hear it, and secondly to everyone else for having exposed them to what you've got going on down there. And don't think I'm targeting you because you are who you are and you made an adult video. I'm literally the anti-porn guy, and if you're still watching, I've got my anti-porn video in the description, and you should watch it if you're gonna do these other good things, man. Like, if you're gonna apologize and try to set your life around, maybe you should stop watching the wank material. I just can't. What did he mean when he says it's contracting? Unrelated, but you also need to apologize to the public for your frequent sympathy baiting, squeeze your wrist baiting, try to hang your wrist off of a tree baiting. You know what I'm getting at. Like, you call yourself a mental health advocate, and then you advocate by vague posting things like, if I don't post here in 24 hours, then I'm dead. Or your forced depression voice when you do your audio tags on your videos. Exclusive property of Sad Boy Nova online on TikTok and YouTube. I'm sad, guys. I'm depressed that my adult video got leaked, guys. I'm depressed that my Discord and Telegram, where minors and adults were sharing not safe for work images with each other, got leaked, guys. Poor me. Woe is me.
Exclusive property of the Novine universe on TikTok and YouTube.
Welcome back to Sad Boy Eats, or I Sad Boy, I Eat, Nuff said.
Exclusive property of the Novine universe on TikTok and YouTube.
But like, ideations like that, Nova, are a real problem for people. And what you do is you take this very serious subject and then you use it for your own gain and sympathy baiting. It's freaking stupid and honestly bothers me more than it should. You need to cut this out and apologize. To conclude, Nova's story up until now has been filled with lies, with gluttony, with sloth, with lust, and with greed. And those are the sins that'll kill you. When I look at someone like Nova, I see a deceitful, lazy, aloof, impulsive, and overall disheveled man searching for any sort of validation he can hope to grasp while burying his head deep in the sand in an effort not to come face to face with the very real mistakes and evils he's committed that await him at the surface. Up until now, he's found validation with the worst people, led himself into a world of misery, and it also seems like time is running out for Nova, as I recently heard, I think this was from Bloodspeth, but that his local police have started looking into him. And also Chris Hansen just told the entire internet that he's looking into you too, so like time is running out.
Gabriel Gage, he's a notorious online predator. No, but...
You know, I've heard that name, and I need to dig into that a little deeper, but that's come my way a few times. I promise you I'll take a look at it.
You know, I obviously can't verify that they actually are doing these things, Nova, but if I were you, I'd get to changing these things sooner rather than later, although, I did say this earlier, it might be too late for you. Nova, it seems like you watch all the videos about you, so I'm begging you to listen to what I have to say now. You need to come clean. Not for us, not for your friends, not for your mom, but for you, Nova, and the world at large. Once you come clean and admit that you've set yourself on a path that not many people, especially people online, can ever escape from, you'll be able to see where that path leads and hopefully find your way back to goodness. I'm Only Jax, and until next time, don't touch the poop. So I went a long time without posting. I think I said in the script I went over a year without posting, but that can't be true. Hold on. Has it been over a year? Oh, it's been 10 months. It's been 10 months since I posted last. So I want to give everyone an update. So it's been a crazy year for me. Give me a break. I moved to Tennessee from Los Angeles, moved to a different, fuck you. It's been a crazy year for me, so give me a break. I moved to Tennessee from Los Angeles and then moved to a different place in Tennessee and then moved to yet another place in Tennessee. I'm truly living out my Andy Ditch arc. No, but in all seriousness, if any of you have been waiting for this video, I'm sorry it took me so long. I really have been busy. Chasing my actual job has been both quite the adventure and quite the nightmare, so thanks for not going anywhere. Upcoming for Only Jax, I'm honestly not sure. One thing I mentioned earlier in the video was about encouraging people like Nova at a distance, and I don't know if that's the right way to put it. Like, it's really off-putting to me that the internet at large allows lolcows like Nova to exist. I don't even think that's exactly how to say it, but let's use Chris Chan as an example. Would he have wound up the man or I guess woman, he turned out to be without the trolls? I mean, obviously he would have been different without them, but would he have gone off to do... He goes by whatever pronouns. I don't need to expend the mental energy to call him a girl. But what I'm getting at is, would he have gone off to do the evil things that he did? I don't think we'll ever know the answer to that question, but somewhere in my gut, I just get the feeling that there could have been a good ending. People like Nova thrive on attention, both positive and negative, and their trolls subsequently feed off the same attention. I don't know if I have a solution, but I try to always remind myself that the trolls are almost always just as bad as the lolcow they're trolling. Like, given the opportunity, and no matter how tempting it might be, I wouldn't ever tell Joshua Block to put the fries in the bag, if that makes sense. Because that makes me part of the problem. Honestly, I think the solution is look but don't touch. Don't leave nice comments, don't leave mean comments. Watch the lolcow videos, don't like them at the source where they come from. Obviously, keep liking folks like Smokey MCC and Kiwi. Freaking love those guys. But the problem with that solution is that it only works if everyone does it. And on the flip side, there's some really good consequences that come from these people being infamous. Chris Chan will eternally be punished for what he did to his mother. Nova will be shamed for his actions. Bad people will face bad consequences that they otherwise might not have. So I don't know. I guess just be excellent to each other. Love the people around you and be a good influence so someone you know doesn't become the next Nova or something. Anyway, that's the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.
You made it to the end of the video, you should subscribe, or maybe just leave a like. Leave a comment if you please, but I'd rather you subscribe. I check that shit like every day, and when that subscriber number goes up, well, my heart goes up to the sky. When you do